Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now guys, as always, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now, this news was just broken within the last couple of hours. Ricky Hatton, yes, the hitman, Ricky Hatton is set to return to the boxing ring in December of this year. It'll be in the United Arab Emirates, so it'll be in Dubai, and he'll be taking on a guy named, and I really hope I don't butcher this name, Issa Aldar. Issa Aldar he'll be taking on in a middleweight contest in Dubai, yeah, December. So by the time that comes around, Hatton will be 47 years old. His last professional fight, Ricky Hatton, was back in 2012, where he fought Senchenko. He got stopped, I think, from a body shot in that fight in the 7th or 8th round or something. It was a really sad way for Hatton to go out. But yeah, that was his last professional fight back in 2012. He has been in the ring since then against Marco Antonio Barrera, his longtime friend. Good friend of his, Ricky Hatton, Marco Antonio Barrera. They shared a ring. It was really just a move around. It was nothing, it was nothing too competitive. But I think it was just, just to get around in the ring again, just to get that feeling again. I think he even said it, that he just wanted to get that feeling of walking down to the ring, getting in there, and, like, it was just an exhibition fight against a mate. This is actually a professional contest that's going to go on his record against Issa Aldar. Now, I did a little bit of research on this guy. Let's get his box rec up right here. Now, I did a little bit of research on him, just had a look. He's 46 years old himself, calls himself the Arabian Warrior. He's from the UAE, lives in Dubai. His last fight was back in July 2021 against Pedro Alejandro Delgado, which he lost. He got stopped in that fight. So yeah, I mean, in terms of comebacks, if this is a comeback or if this is just a one-off, I don't know. He's going up against a pretty safe opponent just by looking at it on his box rec. He's the same age as Ricky Hatton. Hasn't had much of a professional career. He's been inactive himself. So I guess, if you are, I wouldn't recommend him coming back, but if you are going to come back, then I suppose that this opponent, without being disrespectful, is probably a safe choice for Ricky Hatton to go in there with. It's not like he's 10 or 20 years younger than him or anything like that. It's not like he's active and, he's a contender. He seems to be, pretty inactive in himself, and he only fought in the UAE. So, yeah, probably this is just a safe opponent for Hatton to have. A little run around in the ring, maybe, who knows? But it is a professional contest, so, they will be taking it seriously. I'm not sure who's promoting this. I know Amir Khan is looking into boxing promotion. Is he involved in this by any means? I've got no idea. I'm just speculating. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I just want to talk about, the wider context of this with Ricky Hatton, man. Ricky Hatton, it's been well documented. I watched his documentary on Sky. That was very, very good, by the way. But it's been well documented with Ricky Hatton that he's had a lot of issues outside of the ring personally. He's had to fight a lot of mental demons, and he's been pretty open with it. He said that he's had battles that he's had to contend with, internal ones. And thankfully for him, he's overcome it. But is this a sign of that? Like just the missing the ring and being in there, and like what's brought this on? I haven't seen no interview or anything with Ricky Hatton, so I don't know. But, what's brought this on to come out of retirement now? Fight a professional fight at the age of, well, he'll be 47 by the time he steps in the ring. It's not uncommon, though, with boxers nowadays, particularly retired ones. You're hearing this all the time. This has kind of been the case now for the last few years. Whether it's exhibition or whether it is professional, you got boxers that have been long retired, well into their 40s, 50s, looking to come back in the ring. Mike Tyson had a fight at 60. So yeah, this is not uncommon. Not something that I'm a fan of course, but I feel like we're too far gone now. These boxers are just going to make their minds up and do it. It's been happening for a good few years now. But yeah, I guess in Ricky Hatton's case, against this opponent who's the same age, pretty inactive himself, doesn't seem to have much of a resume going by his box rec, this is probably just a safe fight for him to have. But the question is, why do you want to go back in there? That's the real question. Why do you want to go back in there? Is there something missing in terms of fulfillment, with retirement? What can we do for boxers that retire now? Like, what else can we do to, ensure that they don't feel like they need to get back in the ring? I mean, Hatton is one of our most celebrated fighters here in recent years in the UK. He had one of the best followings I've ever seen over here in the UK. Not many people had the same sort of fandom that Ricky Hatton has had. You know, so his son's into boxing right now. He trained boxers himself, Ricky Hatton, but clearly getting in the ring is just a totally different thrill. And, you know, it's a bit concerning that, you know, at 46, 47, you haven't been able to find that peace of being outside of the ring and, you know, wanting to get on with other things, because I'm sure anyone would be open for Hatton to do anything. You know, he's kind of like boxing royalty over here. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. I feel like we're too far gone. We can't tell these retired fighters what to do, but that don't mean that we have to agree with it. So, yeah, Ricky Hatton will be back in the ring in December. It will be in the UAE. Whether it's a one-off or not, I don't know. But, yeah, that's just the information that I've got right now. I'm sure we'll get more as it drops. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts about it in the meantime, guys, in the comment section below. And I'll catch you on the next video.